The Atlanta Falcons have used 4 straight first-round picks on offense under general manager Terry Fontenot. But in the 2025 NFL Draft, they finally shifted gears and invested heavily in their defense, a move many believe is long overdue. Atlanta's pass rush was among the NFL's worst in 2024, finishing with the second fewest sacks in the league. With a deep draft class featuring talent at both edge rusher and defensive tackle, the Falcons were expected to address the defensive front early, despite only having just 5 picks total. That lack of draft capital pushed them to consider a trade down to stockpile more mid-round selections, and we saw the Atlanta Falcons do that in this year's draft. They made a bold move by selecting Georgia's versatile defender Jaylen Walker, one of the more explosive, multi-positional athletes in the class. While he began his college career playing off-ball linebacker, he took on more edge rushing responsibilities in 2024 and flashed serious upside at both positions. His skill set fits perfectly with what defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich values: versatility, effort, and disruption. Walker's 2024 tape shows his ability to impact the game in multiple ways. According to Pro Football Focus, he played 311 snaps at linebacker and 249 on the defensive line, finishing the season with 10.5 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, 22 QB hurries, and 34 total pressures. His high motor and adaptability make him a natural fit in a defense that thrives on multiplicity. Though he is smaller than the prototypical 3-4 outside linebacker, standing 6'1", 243 pounds with 32-inch arm, Ulbrich isn't concerned though. He compared Walker's upside to that of Bryce Huff, who blossomed under his watch in New York, going from a role player to a 10.5 sack contributor in 2023. Head coach Raheem Morris also praised Walker, noting his character and impact at Georgia both on and off the field. Morris sees him as someone who embodies what the Falcons want: toughness, versatility, and high football IQ. Walker, just 21 years old, is fully bought into the Falcons' plan. He's played inside linebacker, edge rusher, and even took 61 snaps at nickel corner last year. Wherever Atlanta needs him, he's ready to contribute, and he's confident in his ability to make an impact immediately. Whether lining up on the edge, in space, or even rotating inside, Walker gives Atlanta a Swiss Army knife on defense, a high upside, high motor defender who fits seamlessly into Ulbrich's scheme. The Falcons believe they found a foundational piece for their defense, and if all goes to plan, this could be the investment that finally turns their pass rush around. The Atlanta Falcons shook up the 2025 NFL Draft by making another aggressive move up the board, and they did it for one reason: to land their guy, James Pierce Jr., the explosive edge rusher out of Tennessee. After years of searching for a true game wrecker off the edge, the Falcons may have finally landed one. And make no mistake, this move sends a clear message: Atlanta is done playing soft on defense. The Falcons entered this draft needing a dynamic presence on the defensive front. They finished near the bottom of the league in sacks once again last season, and simply put, they needed a closer, someone who can disrupt plays, collapse pockets, and flip the momentum of a game. That's exactly what James Pierce Jr. brings to the table. Atlanta identified Pierce as a top-tier difference maker, and with the edge rusher market heating up quickly in the top 10, they didn't sit back and wait. They traded up to secure a player many evaluators had as a top 5 talent, and they did it with conviction. Pierce is coming off a dominant season at Tennessee, where he racked up double-digit sacks, 18 tackles for loss, and over 40 quarterback pressures. He combines long arms, explosive first-step quickness, and advanced pass rush technique. He's disruptive, relentless, and has the kind of bend you just don't coach. Scouts have praised Pierce for his ability to affect the game on all 3 downs. He's not just a speed rusher. He sets a strong edge in the run game and can drop into space when needed. That makes him a perfect fit for defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, who's building a unit centered around versatility and violence. Pierce steps in as a day 1 starter on the edge and gives Atlanta something they haven't had in years: a true alpha pass rusher. His presence will also free up some of the other guys like Grady Jarrett, and it gives the Falcons defensive line more balance and bite. Expect Ulbrich to move Pierce around, isolate him one-on-one in matchups, and let him hunt quarterbacks early and often. Around the league, the reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. Several analysts are calling it the best defensive pick of the first round. ESPN's draft panel praised the move as bold and necessary, and many believe the Falcons jumped in front of a few teams, including Chicago and Seattle, that had Pierce high on their boards. And if we're calling it like this might just be the steal of the draft. To get a player with this kind of upside outside the top 5, that's excellent value, especially for a team that's been desperate for pressure. The Falcons have been rebuilding the identity of their defense under Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich. With this trade up for James Pierce Jr., they may have just landed the cornerstone of that rebuild. He brings speed, violence, leadership, and production. He's everything Atlanta fans have been begging for on defense, and now it's time to see him deliver. James Pierce Jr. is a Falcon, and the NFC South should be on notice. The Falcons kicked off their 2025 rookie minicamp with high expectations for these rookies. Both players are anticipated to make immediate contributions to a defense aiming to revitalize its pass rush. Jaylen Walker, selected 15th overall, showcased his versatility during his tenure at Georgia, playing both linebacker and edge positions like I mentioned. His adaptability and athleticism were evident during minicamp drills, aligning with the Falcons' defensive schemes that value multi-phase players. Walker's ability to seamlessly transition between roles is expected to add a dynamic element to Atlanta's defense. James Pierce Jr., acquired through a trade that involves Atlanta's 2026 first-round pick, brings a high motor and explosive pass rushing skills. Standing at 6'5" and weighing 245 pounds, Pierce demonstrated his agility and strength during the minicamp sessions. His performance at Tennessee, where he earned first-team All-SEC honors in both 2023 and 2024, underscores his potential to be a disruptive force on the Falcons' defensive line. The Falcons' decision to invest heavily in their pass rush by selecting both Walker and Pierce in the first round reflects a strategic shift towards strengthening their defense. Early impressions from the rookie minicamp suggest that both players are poised to play significant roles in the upcoming season, potentially transforming Atlanta's defensive front into a formidable unit. The Falcons didn't just draft for need, they drafted with a clear vision. By grabbing both James Pierce Jr. and Jaylen Walker in the first round, Atlanta sent a message to the rest of the league. This defense is about to get nasty. Pierce brings elite pass rushing upside and game-breaking explosiveness off the edge. Walker adds versatility, physicality, and a high football IQ that allows him to impact games in multiple roles. Together, they represent the future core of Jeff Ulbrich's defense. Fast, aggressive, and built to cause problems. If these two first-rounders live up to their potential, this draft class could mark the turning point in Atlanta's defensive identity. For the first time in years, the Falcons may finally have the pieces they need to build a top-tier pass rush. It starts now. If you made it this far and you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe and you turn the notification bell on so you never miss a Falcons video or any video at all. Leave a like as well. I greatly do appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.